This is not financial advice, not legal advice, for entertainment and educational purposes only, and anything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any financial decision based on anything I say in these videos. Listen, double check and subscribe to the channel, double check your notification on, and if you hit that like button, make sure it's working properly, because these bad actors are working overtime to suppress the channel. Listen, what they are doing to MULN is absolutely outrageous. And the evidence of the fraud and corruption, you're seeing it every single day. You're seeing it in the numbers. So the SEC has to see it, the DOJ has to see it, the FBI has to see it, and they're doing absolutely nothing about it, because the majority of the victims of these crimes are retail investors, pension funds, and institutions that follow the rules. This is absolutely sickening. On Friday, they had over 20 million MULN shares available to short into the market and manipulate the price at an interest rate of 317%. Okay? Make that make sense. And then, when you look at the fact that we had all these 100-to-1 reverse splits, where are these shares coming from? They're obviously counterfeit shares or tokens that are being used as false locates. And all the SEC has to do is look at the reverse splits and look at the numbers, and they know that this is one big Ponzi scheme. But they're doing absolutely nothing about it. And I've told you guys this before. I believe they're trying to run MULN into bankruptcy before the lawsuit gets to the discovery phase, when they have to turn over all the trading history and the blue sheets of MULN. MULN has been on the threshold list for like over a year. Every single week, it's on the threshold list. Yet the SEC, the DOJ, the FBI don't see anything that requires an investigation. This is absolutely sickening to me. And the thing is this: they are manipulating the stock and creating these counterfeit shares 24/7. Even on Saturdays and Sundays when the market is closed, they are moving counterfeit MULN shares that are appearing out of thin air like a magic trick, and nobody wants to ask them where they getting these shares from. If you look at the chart behind me, on Saturday, when the market is closed, these guys got 1,500,000 MULN shares to short into the market and manipulate the price. So these guys are moving MULN, well, not even MULN, moving counterfeit MULN on a Saturday to manipulate the price. Yet somehow the SEC, the DOJ, the FBI don't see a problem. And I'm not saying that MULN board isn't great, okay? I don't like the board. I don't like what they do. But they are not the ones to blame for all this fraud and corruption. This is the naked shorters. This is the naked shorters. And the thing is, obviously, these shares are not available. With all these 100-to-1 reverse splits, how could all these shares be available? How is that even possible? Okay? How is that even possible? Anybody that's paying attention has to know that this has to be the most manipulated stock in the stock market right now. I think this is more manipulated than AMC and GME at this point, because they know that once the lawsuit exposes the billions of counterfeit shares, it's going to cause a major problem for these naked shorters, a major problem. And I believe, and I was doing a little research, I believe there's a whole bunch of MULN tokens out there, a whole lot of MULN tokens that they're using as false locates for all these shares that are available to short, okay? It's absolutely crazy. It's illogical. The SEC, the DOJ has to see what I see. They're looking at the same numbers I'm looking at. As a matter of fact, they're looking at better data that I'm able to access. They're looking at better data that I'm available to access, and yet somehow they're doing absolutely nothing about it. Nobody cares about fraud and corruption in the stock market if the victims are retail investors, pension funds, and institutions that follow the rules. The only time they care about fraud is if the 1%ers are losing money. That is the only time they care about fraud. Once in a while, they will go after somebody and make it look like they're enforcing the law, like they're protecting retail investors, but it's only for maybe a minute amount of time. Say there's 100 cases of fraud against retail investors, maybe one of those might see some type of enforcement, maybe one of them. But you do something against the 1%ers, they will come after you every single time. Anyway, please leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Do you think that the fraud and corruption in the MULN play is so overwhelming that the SEC, the DOJ, and the FBI can't claim they can't see it? They can't claim they didn't know about it. Anyway, have a great day. God bless, and I appreciate y'all on this journey with me.